Hello.
Apa?
Recording dah start kan?
Dah.
Dah.
Okay.
Aku start.
Okay, start.
Hello guys and good morning. So everyone is here.
I believe everyone has arrived.
Oh, great. So today we will not learn about any lesson. We are going to do some discussion about the current issue, COVID-19. So what is the first thing that comes into your mind when talking about COVID-19?
Vaccination, I guess.
Yes, that's great.
Vaccination, in my opinion, is such an important item that people require right now since it can assist in achieving herd immunity among us.
What do you mean by herd immunity?
Herd immunity occurs when a substantial portion of a community becomes immune to a disease, making the spread of disease from person to person unlikely. As a result, the whole community becomes protected, not just those who are immune as well as those who cannot be vaccinated, such as newborns or those who have compromised the immune system.
But recently, I saw in the news about the more than 100,000 people protested Saturday across France against the government's latest measure to push people to get vaccinated and curb rising infection by the Delta variant of the coronavirus.
Yeah, I also realized about that. For me, that is such a error in thinking.
Do you mean partialism?
Exactly. Partialism, the thinker observes the problem through one perspective only. Actually, they only observe about the harmful effect and make some false perception when taking the vaccination, such as side effects.
I also ever heard about that. They consider vaccine has live coronavirus instead of saving our lives. Actually, the vaccine do not contain live coronavirus, and you cannot and will not get COVID-19 from getting vaccinated. After the shot, you might experience a sore arm, a mild fever, or body aches, but this does not mean you have COVID-19. These symptoms, if they happen at all, are temporary, usually lasting only a day or two. They signal a natural response as your body's immune system learns to recognize and fight the coronavirus. On the other hand, getting COVID-19 can make you seriously ill with symptoms that linger for months or even longer.
Otherwise, one claim is that COVID-19 vaccines contain microchips that the government or global elites like Bill Gates would use to track citizens. Despite viral videos claiming a chip in the vaccines makes people's arms magnetic, the conspiracy is false.
Yeah, I saw that and it is exceedingly popular in social media like TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram.
For me, it is also such of error in thinking, extreme category actually, because it is illogical for vaccine to contain microchips. I've did some research about that. Dr. Matt Lawrence, a pediatric infectious disease specialist at the University of Maryland School of Medicine, said that's just not possible as far as the size that would be required for that microchip. Second, he said that microchip would have to have an associated power source. Then, in addition, that power source would have to transmit a signal through at least an inch of muscle and fat and skin to a remote device, which again just doesn't make sense.
Good explanation.
Moreover, you ever heard about anti-vaccine? What do you think about them?
I think the anti-vaccine existence cause of the fake news spreading. Fake news can alter someone's mindset, and some people will make an initial judgment error. As previously indicated, fake news can take the form of a microchip embedded in the vaccine and reduces our immune system effectiveness. This type of news may cause some people to believe that they should simply take the information without questioning it.
Yes, I think so. So, have you guys heard of the hot issue right now, which is about the power struggle in politicians?
Yeah, I've also heard about the issue.
You know that the political turmoil and power struggles that took place as daily cases and deaths continue to soar have pushed the country's pandemic crisis to a worse level.
I also saw in the news that health experts and non-governmental organizations, which is NGO, are of the view that the endless power struggle has undermined the focus on effort to tackle COVID-19, which is at risk of causing the death toll to continue to soar and the people to become victims.
Hmm. I think the news indicates that the situation of COVID-19 in our country will be longer.
This shows that these politicians are behaving magnitude error. For me, I think rather than relying to violating standard operating procedures, is it SOPs, it is better to gather ideas on how it can help reduce the burden on the economy and the public health system.
Yes, I agree with what you said.
Yeah, otherwise, their action in violating the SOP, which is a standard operating procedure, over the course of the day may encourage the people to do the same, in addition to affecting the motivation of frontline workers who have been tired of fighting COVID-19 for more than a year.
Yes, those who hold parliamentary positions should set a good example rather than use the positions held to disobey the law.
Due to that, when people start ignoring SOP and health workers get tired and lose focus, this will contribute to an increase in death cases.
In this power struggle, the people are the victims. I read an article, University Kebangsaan Malaysia UKM, Faculty of Medicine Community Health Physician, Professor Dr. Sharifah Azad Wan Puteh, is of the view that political issues at this time have caused the focus to no longer be on efforts to combat COVID-19.
What she said is true. This remains prolonged. It will have severe repercussions, actually.
From that, we see when political squabbles occur, attention, time and money are no longer focused on the welfare of the people as well as public health. And it's pointed to see this happen among the educated.
I am worried that leaders will start shifting their focus to gaining votes and support instead of helping those who are struggling with survival.
I hope the government can stabilize the increasingly active political situation so as not to cause chaos between the people and the political parties.
So, have you guys been tracking the latest news?
Yes, a lot has been going on since the pandemic started a year ago.
Yeah, I heard that retrenchment rate in our country is on the rise and has caused many of us to seek other alternatives to generate our own source of income.
You're right, it's been a rough year for everyone. Besides, one of my relatives from my dad's side also lost his job as his company declared bankruptcy a few months ago, and I really feel sorry for him as he was the sole breadwinner for his family.
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that, Alip. I will keep your uncle in my prayers, yeah? I understand your uncle's situation as my dad have also been in that situation a few years ago. Anyways, I have been keeping up with the latest news and found out that 100,000 Malaysians have lost their jobs since the start of the movement control order.
True, but I'm curious though, why isn't the Malaysian government doing anything to help their people?
Actually, Eric, the government is doing everything they possible can during this pandemic. For instance, the government has implemented many economic stimulus packages and provided many monetary assistance, especially to the B14 and M14. This type of assistance has been immense help to those two groups, especially.
I agree with you. I also recently read that our Prime Minister had just unveiled an additional 150 billion stimulus packages as Malaysia extends its total lockdown. No doubt our government is doing everything they can to help us and the economy to recover, but it might take some time as things like this is not done overnight.
Agree, brother. I've also been doing on my own research and found that 44% of workers surveyed by the Malaysia Department of Statistics, which is DOS, those reported that they worked from home as most business activity were halted. In contrast, only 1 in 4 self-employed people surveyed were able to work from home. Job loss was also reported among 1 in 10 surveyed, responded, and unsurprisingly, the official unemployment figure in March 2020 was 3.9%, much higher than 3.3% average unemployment in 2019.
Oh my, that is terrible. I just hope everything will turn around in a year from now, as the government has successfully managed to curb the spread of the virus, and 80% of the adult population in Malaysia have been inoculated. Let's just hope for the best, I guess.
Yes, great. I think that's all for today. Hope you guys got something to our discussion today. Thank you, guys.
Yes, I am hoping that our discussion today will open our eyes as well as the eyes of others to what is going on in Malaysia.
Yes, I agree. Let's hope for the best.